Do yourself a favor and stop expecting God to bless your mess. You've done all these things, created all these plans without him, and now you expect him to bless it. You've been praying to him, God bless my business, when you've created a business and you never even asked God if this was what you were meant to do. If you even should have created the business in the first place. God, please bless my relationship. God never told you to get with her. God never told you to get with him. Please bless my... You've never gone to God and even asked him if this is where he's calling you to go, if this is who he's called you to be a servant to. You never even asked him. And here's where we get the real root. It says in Jeremiah 17:9, it says, the heart is deceitful above all things and desperately wicked. Who can know it? Verse 10 says, I, the Lord, search the heart. I test the mind, even to give every man according to his ways, according to the fruit of his doings. And this is letting us know quite plainly that our heart is wicked. It's desperate, right? Desperately wicked, rather. And it is deceitful above all things. And it's even letting us know that God is the one who searches it, though. Man can't know your heart, but God does, right? Not only does he know your heart, but he knows your ways. And he is going to judge it. He's going to judge it according to your ways, according to the fruit of your doings. He's basing everything that you do according to your heart posture, is what I'm getting at. But where is your heart posture if you've never even surrendered the things that you're trying to do to God? If can I be real? You're treating God like the last resort when he should have been your first response. You should have asked God, God, is this business even what I'm meant to do? God, will this business bring me closer to you? If so, let it be your will. Thy will be done over mine. You've only come to God after you've done the thing. You've only come to God when you need help because the business ain't going nowhere, because the relationship is going into turmoil. If it is not blessed, it's probably because it's mess. And what I'm saying is it's actually more benefit for you that you let it go. It's actually more benefit for you that God doesn't bless it. So that you know that now I need to go to you. I need to go to God before I try to do something on my own. Before I try to step into places and spaces I was never called to. Because God has a purpose for you. Problem is when we try to be our own Lord. Problem is when we try to give ourselves our own plan, our own sense of direction. And I'm not saying don't go for your dreams. I'm not saying don't follow your passions. But rather I'm saying this. Follow them if that's what God told you to do. Because if he didn't, it's probably your heart being deceitful. It's probably your heart being desperately wicked. It's probably your heart leading you down a path that you are never meant to go down. You are never meant to follow. See, I want you to understand that this book in particularly goes against every human desire. It goes against every single human desire. Which is why is one of the reasons why we know that it's true. It goes against every single man-made desire. Everything that we want, our lust, our flesh, all of these earthly and worldly things, the pursuit of money and all of the glam and the glory and the pride of life and everything that comes with it. Enviness, jealousy, all of these things. It tells us to cast them down and put them to rest. It says you can't serve mammon and God, which is money. It says cast it down, for it is better for you to place your treasures up in heaven, for where your treasure is, your heart lies also. That's good word. Problem is you ain't been reading it. Problem is you haven't been applying it. How do I know? Because you still been asking God to bless your mess. It's better for God not to bless it, to let it fall, to let it fail. And I know it may sound harsh for it to happen, but I promise you it is going to be in your benefit. It's going to be in your favor, actually, that it doesn't, because it makes room for God to bless you with more. Because many times we're asking God to do things for us. Many times we're asking God to fill up. What's a better example for this? Many times we're asking God to give us more when our hands are already full. We don't have any more room for God to put more into us, to put more onto us, to give us more because our hands are full. We're coming to God with a full plate, saying, God, bless me with more. Bless me with more abundance, God, when you don't even know what to do with what you already have. It's better to come to God with thanksgiving. It's better to come to God empty-handed, needing Him in every aspect. Better to come to Him lowly. So that you only have room for the bread of life. So that you only have room for the living water that He provides. Stop asking God to bless your mess. It's messy. The heart is desperately wicked, for who can know it? But yet He still puts Himself on the mission to search the heart. Heart posture. See, you might have head knowledge, but do you have heart change? God doesn't care about how smart you are. He tells us to come to Him with childlike faith. He wants it to be that pure, that honest, that willing to just believe simply because He is our Father. To love the one that we don't see. To hold on to Him, the one that we've never felt. But yet we know that He's there. It is better to go to God for the mission rather than going to Him for the blessing. Because He will bless what He's called you to do. You can count on it. If God has called you there, expect blessing in arrival. See, the thing about it is that He's already, when you go to Him and He tells you where He has called you to go, expect the blessing, expect it already. Expect it already in your name. When He told Israel to go to the promised land, He didn't say fight for it. He didn't say negotiate for it. He just said, take the land, for I have already given it to you. It is for you. It only takes for you to accept it. It only takes for you to be willing to claim what is already yours. But the Israelites, the reason why they had to wander so long in the promised land is because they feared it, because they knew that there was giants there. They knew that it was opposition, obstacles, people that they must have to fight, and they weren't prepared. So they doubted if it was actually meant for them. But in every aspect, God made a way. In every aspect, God was fighting the battle for them. They barely even had to fight. They just had to show up. They just had to step into the land that God was calling them to take over. He's already given you ownership. He's already given you authority in the spaces and places He's called you to. But do you know where that is? See, the thing about it too is that those places are only led. You can only find those places when God has called you, because He's also taking you. See, the Israelites didn't know how to get to the promised land. They didn't. What had to happen? God led them there the entire way. They had to pick up the tabernacle, and it was a cloud pillar leading them the entire way. That when the cloud stopped, they stopped. And then when the cloud moved, they packed up everything and kept moving. All the way until they got to and entered the promised land. See, the amazing part about it, they said it was a man of like milk and honey. The amazing part about it is because the provision is already there, waiting on you to accept it. The amazing part about it is that it's promised. And God is not like any other man that He shall lie. So you can count on His promises. You can hold on to them. And you can expect everything that you're looking for to be right there on the other side of His promise. If you made it to the end of this video, I I pray that this is exactly what you need to hear. Because stop asking God to bless your mess. Put it to the side. Let it go. It's better to have a clean slate with God. Let it go. So he can give you, when you let it go, it literally just gives you room. And it gives God more room to operate. So give him the room. Man, so good. The word is so good. So edifying. It speaks for itself. But I pray this was a blessing to you. I pray that you like this video. If you don't, it's okay. Because I do. And hey, if you don't like this one, well, I'll see you tomorrow. Peace.